All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Great Teacher Onizuka, episode 32. All right.
Okay.
Aizawa has been very successful in what has happened because Onizuka pretty much sabotaged himself.
Yeah, and Rumi Kanzaki is going to make this personal, maybe.
Right.
At least they are in a personal environment.
Right. She's in her home.
Yes, there was some slight connection back to Aizawa's parents.
Yes.
There's a lot of ways things could go there.
Mm-hmm.
But I really love specifically what they've done with, you know, like Yoshikawa and stuff, and just being so wholesome and doing what they can to help Onizuka.
Yes. So what will happen now?
Let's raise some more money. Let's make this happen.
Let's blackmail this family.
And Rumi Kanzaki, you lay down the law and see how Aizawa wants to see like how you want to do this.
Exactly. Like the war is basically over at this point.
Right.
Or at least this battle.
Yeah, or it's going to escalate even more and get crazier. So
yeah.
Y'all, without further ado, let's just jump right into it. Stony say and don't say they do. Easy love, easy come, easy go. I just love how that's like, let's take him and like crop him out of the background and slowly have him like rotate off that while you have the white leftover part behind him. It's just got a lonely lonely my person is the only one who can make my heart hot. Love me, kiss me. Nobody knows what means love, so do you know how love song goes on? That's great.
I love that part.
Same. Dead inside. With the actual like reward being 80 million yen. I'm so excited for this conversation.
Oh yeah. The fact that she's talking so calmly.
Right. Yeah, tell us that story.
Right.
Owen had to leave the school. Oh, dang.
This music.
Yeah.
Yeah, true, right.
Yeah, this is some intense music.
So does that hold to your
Apply
parents,
to your parents as well?
Yeah.
She's so defensive at like just by Rumi being here. Oh, did Rumi just? Oh. Oh, she fires first.
Mm-hmm.
Aizawa took this into DEFCON territory before Kanzaki did. Oh shoot! This is. Oh. Oh, I have no idea, but it's gonna be good. He got something? What? Wait, really? What? What?
Is that how?
This is a dream. This isn't real.
Yeah,
There's
right.
no
He's
way.
suspicious.
What?
Wait, what?
He got a car.
Probably. And then he's gonna sell it.
It's a new car! And he's immediately going to crash into the Cresta. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Nice. Nice. Dang. Wow.
The vice principal is going to destroy it. They're not actually going to resolve it like this, are they?
I have no idea. Like...
Or did Kanzaki actually, like, rig the raffle?
Maybe!
Like...
Maybe! Yeah. My Cresta! That's so cruel. Oh, good! Good! I'll kill him. I'll kill myself. No, please,
He's gonna crash it, isn't he?
No, he's got kids in the car.
Okay.
He's fine. Oh, crap.
What?
Oh, no. She's confident. Crap. Oh no! And ejected. Sorry, buddy.
Is she gonna make like some big transfer from the company to Onizuka's account? And say like he did some like, you know, he stole it basically?
I have no idea. Like, she probably has means by which to do really dangerous, nasty things.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that kind of escalation that I think goes beyond the car. Like, as well, yeah, it'll be something that. Okay. Oh my gosh! Come on, Onizuka!
And don't you dare like put it off 2 days so that you can drive it a bit longer or anything.
No! No!
Oh
This is killing me! This is killing me!
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh. Yep.
Nicely done.
Whoa! Whoa!
Holy crap.
Oh my gosh!
So did she just record that? I think she did.
Yep.
Wow.
And just sent it to Kikuchi.
Uh-huh.
Squad up!
Yeah.
Jeez, and Onizuka's such a good guy. He's nice. Okay, get everyone on the same page.
Holy crap.
That is nuts. Yeah, if it's just a fender bender for the Mercedes and it's not like done any damage to the internals, they might be able to make it repaired a little bit. Yeah. Dang. And this is all real right here. Like this is all. Yeah. Crap. What are the odds Onizuka finds someone to buy the Mercedes and gives the money to the guy?
Wow.
And she even got him to say that, probably. Here. Wow. She's trying to tug every heartstring Onizuka has. It's amazing how she has such a high opinion of him.
Right.
To do this specifically. But also is trying to destroy and ruin his life, you know? Wow. Oh, wow. Oh,
wow.
Wow. What are the odds this guy is so good he realizes I can't do this to him?
Well, yeah, Well, and what if the father found out about it and he was like, holy crap, this guy's such a good guy that basically...
Yeah, oh, that's even better. Trust, my dude. Yeah, that triple zoom.
Yep.
Urumi Kanzaki waiting ahead of them.
Nope.
Yeah. The business stuff was all real. Yep.
But so it probably was real.
Oh, it might have been real because she didn't tell him to make that.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, y'all.
Wow.
Wow, what a good guy. Kunio, just being Kunio. We haven't been beaten.
Alright.
With her different colored eyes. Oh, the 200 IQ.
Yeah.
Demoness,
right,
will unleash her power, and woe to any that have the misfortune of being in her evil stare. I am genuinely terrified now for Miyabi. I'm just saying the terror that was Urumi Kanzaki when she was in her chaotic neutral kind of stage.
Yep.
It was actually a little bit terrifying because she seemed to have no
nothing she wasn't willing to do.
Exactly. And in some ways Miyabi is like lawful evil, right?
Sure.
Like Onizuka has broken the fundamental rules of nature according to her.
Right, by being a teacher.
Being a teacher, but, he is totally like anything is justified done to him.
Right.
But for Urumi Kanzaki, she's just like, I gave you a warning. I went by the usual rules of engagement, but you have rejected the laws of the Geneva Convention, so that means the gloves are coming off.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Really excited to see how exactly she does it.
I'm not. I'm excited, but I'm like terrified because I think in some ways Onizuka might stop her, like because he's
Maybe.
like Aizawa is my student.
But I think she'll make sure that they don't know that they don't tell.
I'm
him.
sure. I'm sure. But it's just like, ay.
Wow.
Ooh, okay.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
Escalation.
Yep, it has happened.
We are going to all-out war very soon.
That's right. I'm glad that they didn't end up having the Mercedes be the actual thing that directly causes Onizuka to get out of this.
Too much RNG.
Even though I get the feeling that might still be the case if it does end up being something where the guy is moved by what Onizuka said, and then maybe the father's right, and then maybe he does end up like he tells like the banker about the story, and he's like, "No, I need this loan not for my business. My business is fine now. I need this to pay the man back." Wow. You know, like basically for that kindness, even though all this stuff.
Because the bank would give him his credit back after he ended up paying off the specific thing.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So it's
and then he would use that to pay Onizuka back. He would still be where he was at, in the situation he wanted to be in.
Mm-hmm. I also gotta say, to shout out this guy, I really like how the manipulation with Aizawa happened, because we actually got a form of confirmation that very little of it was made up. Yes. And if anything, Aizawa leveraged a lie, basically that you're going to be in trouble. You're going to be in extra trouble here.
Right.
Or not necessarily a lie, but more of a threat.
Well, and also the thing of like, hey, I have a way that you can save your company.
Yes. Yes. She gave him a way out.
Right.
And he was desperate enough to do it. But the thing is that he was doing everything because he was that desperate.
Right.
He didn't feign desperation. It was all legitimate.
Yep.
Now, the thing is that he ends up, like this guy is a really good guy. Like, Onizuka is he is the great teacher Onizuka. So him having that effect, there's so much good karma that can come from that, not just from the stance of karma, but just of the, like you said, the rippling effect of how people could respond to this. And it's something that we saw with Yoshikawa and Uehara in the episode previous to this. But on a greater scale, there's just a lot of really cool things that can come from that. I do like the idea also of the dad finding out about this, and there being some cool things that come from there.
Maybe he finds out about it, and he basically ends up saying, nope, give that company that loan,
Sure. Yeah. Also, there's the other angle of he ends up finding out what Aizawa did.
Sure.
And Onizuka... like he's like, I don't have the means to give you that money. I can't just flat out give you that money. But he's like, don't worry, like I will, punish her accordingly. And he's like, no, don't worry. She's my student. I'll I'll deal with the whole thing there. And it's Onizuka's response to not having some kind of vindictive attitude towards Aizawa that moves the parents even more to where they're like, okay, we'll figure things out with the school. Like we'll go and speak on your behalf. There was another thing where that happened previously. That was Madame Footlicker, right?
Footlicker, yep, that's right.
Yeah, the parents came and spoke on Onizuka's behalf, and I think we could do a reusing of that plot point. That plot.
So, but this makes me wonder if Kanzaki is actually going to stop Aizawa, because since they introduced this whole idea of the guy that he gave the Mercedes to in that aspect, they have a way that Onizuka can solve the problem rather than the students. Because, like, when I think about it, the only time that the students really resolved the problem was with Yoshikawa and Kikuchi. And that was one of the best parts of the entire dang show.
It's one of the best parts for sure.
That was so good.
So good.
But if they wanted to have Onizuka solve this, they could by having, you know, Kanzaki maybe do her thing or whatever. And then that aspect of Onizuka that got him into this mess of being, you know, gullible and wanting to take all the burden on himself and things like that. That ends up getting him out of it because it's the karma, you know, coming back and helping him out. But
I just gotta say, the whole thing of Kanzaki, we know what she's gonna target, right?
Her family.
Yeah. Because the way she's like, oh, look at you in this nice house, nice family.
Yep.
You have so much anger bottled up in you. Such a child.
Right.
It's basically this thing of, oh, little child, you don't know how the world works, do you? You don't know how blessed you are, how grateful you should be.
How much worse things could be for
How much
you.
worse things could be.
Yeah.
It's like, I am so terrified because in a lot of ways, I don't think Aizawa is the kind of person that's going to respond well to strength. I don't think she's going to respond.
No,
I think it's going to get
because she knows she's outclassed in that area. Like if someone normally if someone were to try to do that, someone other than Kanzaki, I think she would respond, you know, in the way that she normally would, because she'd be like, oh yeah, I can play this game.
Yeah, well, I think the simplest aspect of it is that Aizawa, by her very own admittance, basically, of how and why this whole thing came about, is she has fear-based pain, basically, associated with... she has pain associated...
But it's vengeance, mostly, right? Like...
Yeah. So I'm gonna go at it from a weird angle of try to psychoanalyze her, basically.
Okay.
There was a thing that happened to a person that's not her, right? Right? So... instead of trying to give reparations to this person, apparently this person is no longer in the school or whatever. So she doesn't care about the person really as much. So let's look at kind of what she's done thus far. She has labeled teachers as being basically the spawn of Satan. You know, she just hates teachers. That's her thing, right? Well, let's retroactively go back to Yoda's... where does hate originate from?
Fear leads to anger, anger leads to hate, hate leads to suffering, Right,
so fear came because I believe she saw what a teacher could do.
Right, so there was the fear that would happen again, so she's like, I'm going to preemptively strike and take them all out, right? Yeah.
So the pain part, I believe, is that she saw the experience that happened with that person, and while the pain of it might have something that had hit with her, I think that's what triggered the fear, because she didn't want to experience that pain herself.
Okay.
Now, this is all a very selfish angle from it, and it doesn't really redeem Aizawa's viewpoint of her in any way. Now, I'm sure they could do that in the future, but what I think they're going to do here is that when you have this level of kind of just blind hatred towards a specific thing or person or group or whatever, it looks, in a lot of ways, especially from the outside, I would say petty. Because there's, especially I would say when it comes from a child, because children generally have less power, less influence, less ability to
and
do things,
less
with that.
Discernment. So they the fact that this is a generalization, because the thing is, Onizuka and the other teachers probably did nothing wrong to Aizawa, right? But it's simply the fact that there was this one teacher that did something bad, and now she makes this generalization about all teachers, and now she's going to take it out against all of them.
Right.
It could be fear. It could also be something of a righteous vengeance, right? Where it's simply, because of how my friend was hurt, I'm now going to, exact punishment and get blood the only way I can on all the teachers that I have now. Yeah,
just decisions are made because of emotions.
Right.
So I'm trying to unlock the emotion that was the original cause. It's now probably become a thing where she's mantraed it in her mind enough to where she believes it's righteous vengeance. But I'm saying that the thing that needs to be the counteracting thing, the thing that's going to unlock Aizawa's heart, essentially, the thing that's going to save her, is not going to be strength from Kanzaki, because I believe she is so petty that if you applied more pressure to it, she would just lash out in a more petty way, maybe with less force, because she'd be cut off at the knees power-wise.
Well, and it wouldn't rescue her heart.
Exactly.
So to speak. Yeah. So the question is okay, Okay. If it's fear,
yes,
then the opposite response
is
love, right?
And I think that's from the parents, specifically the thing that she is the most distant and disconnected
Okay,
with.
yeah.
It all comes full circle. And Onizuka is a nice stand-in for an older brother / kind of not father figure, but like
just
kind of bro to help you mitigate and maybe be a medium between that whole connection there.
One other thing is that with the whole idea of vengeance, if you have vengeance, then what's the opposite of vengeance? Well, it's not striking back. And that's what Onizuka's been doing this entire time. Now, of course, she is not aware of that, doesn't care about it, whatever, because of how she is right now.
Yeah, I think that would be good if she was willing to make decisions based on outside stimuli that doesn't support her, her belief system. But I think she's so locked into this whole specific thing of hating teachers that one good teacher isn't enough.
Yeah.
Even one great teacher isn't enough.
Right. She's in an echo chamber where if there is a great teacher, then it's just that they haven't revealed themselves yet.
Yeah, sure.
And I love that Kanzaki brought up. It's like, oh, so it's like they're a human being, kind of, and human beings tend to do that.
Yeah.
Like, because that was fantastic. Because on the one hand, it related very closely to what Aizawa did of. Kanzaki just walks in. She's talking in a very like, oh, I could take you out if I wanted to.
Sure.
But not in an immediate, like, threatening way,
Right.
She's just saying, she's just talking, right?
Yeah.
And then Aizawa immediately lashes out and basically makes the first strike. She holds the thing over Urumi's head.
I'm going to tell everyone about your father.
I'm going to tell everyone about your father. That's doing the very same thing that she, espouses to hate in teachers, right?
Right.
Of course, she doesn't see that, and it's all justified because it's all part of her righteous conquest against teachers and Onizuka. And Urumi just chose the wrong side. But, I'm glad that they had that parallel or connection that could be made there, and yet they did not, like, specifically point it out. So that was really cool. And then the shot of Kanzaki just at the cafe with the laptop and the phone plugged in and listening to everything, that like just cutting to that from what was going on, it's just like, oh dang, that's you're toast, like, and
you're in over your head, Aizawa.
And they're probably going to, for story purposes, not have Kanzaki just have been recording that, because that would be too simple, right?
Well, I think there was nothing could be done specifically with the recording that would be enough to incriminate them entirely. But I think the recording is more of a thing that they're building up so that they can have a mountain of it. So I do think they are recording.
Maybe.
Because she sent a file to Kikuchi.
That might have just been a text, though, because when I think about it,
or something?
yeah, because when I think about it, given the time that this is, like maybe sending files like that over email wasn't really a thing that you could do back then. Like the size limit might have been like much smaller.
I think for the narrative purposes of story, sending a sound file is not even close to outside the realm of speculation.
Yeah, probably
I think sending a video file might be a little bit big.
And it's like those old cell phones that would take like 15-second videos only. Yeah.
But yes, I think also if they wanted to have it be video, they could do that as well, because it all scales back with technology at that time anyway. Dealing in 140 pixel videos, stuff like that. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. I think that
as for how she would use it,
I think Kanzaki is going to almost ignore that. That's just proof that she needed maybe to know that this is what they're doing and they're willing to do.
And now I strike. Right. And she's going to go after the parents, and it's going to be terrifying and awesome at the same time.
I'm telling you guys, I am not ready for Urumi Kanzaki to return from her well, the thing is, like, Urumi Kanzaki, the way her storyline was ended, had so much of a playful aspect to it. almost like it wasn't like a true armistice. It was like in some ways the goofy, playful, honest side of Onizuka won her over.
Sure.
Like there was a lot of, emotion and specific things involved there, but she values the way that Onizuka doesn't lie. Like
right. The fact that he's not a hypocrite. She brought that up.
Yeah. Unlike Aizawa.
Right.
So it's something where I don't think we ever saw Kanzaki truly angry.
Right.
Because I don't think she was ever really angry at Onizuka. I think if anything, she was just having fun.
Right. She was bored.
Yeah, she was bored. But this is her actively going like, oh, right, we're at war now?
She could blow up their home while everyone's away.
No. She's not going to kill anyone.
No, not kill anyone. I'm saying, but like she could just basically, like, the whole thing that she did at the school with the windows and everything.
Yeah, I'm more worried because I don't believe Kanzaki does things directly unless she wants to experience the joy from it. And the thing is, I don't think Kanzaki's going to get any joy out of this.
Sure.
I think that means she's going to use other people, other things. This is going to escalate into a thing where it gets even bigger. And that's why, yes, the family is going to be targeted, but it's not going to be directly through her. It's going to be like, oh, these are your dad's businesses? Well then, time to completely ruin your dad's, reputation.
Sure.
Time to, undermine.
Well, that's one of the
certain, aspects.
That's one of the things I was wondering.
Point fraud at you guys or something.
That's one of the things I was wondering if they were going to do with the with the recording. If she was recording that, is because then she could say, oh, so this guy who owns this bank, the daughter, then goes to the people that and basically causes them to do all this stuff. Wow, that's pretty bad. Like that's she could use that as blackmail for the dad, or just have the information go out if she wanted it to be no holds barred, no going back past the point of no return.
Right. I think blackmail is too nice. Like I'm not thinking about actual violence. I'm thinking about like economic, destruction being brought upon them by things that would be very easy for Kanzaki to do via all kinds of things. And it's just like, okay, well, here we go.
Right.
Here we go.
This is going to be a crazy ride.
Going to be absolutely nuts. And then that might not solve anything. That might just escalate it even further. So, y'all,
one other thing that must be mentioned about this episode
was that
the vice principal and his jealousy over the Mercedes.
Yes,
that was absolutely incredible.
Yes,
I loved that so much.
That was so
fact
perfect.
That he grabbed the baseball bat and he's like, "I'm gonna go kill him, then I'm gonna kill myself," and
there wasn't. He didn't even need to say what he was gonna do to the car.
Yeah,
he was holding a baseball bat.
Right, exactly. That was.
If I can't have joy and a car that solves all my problems, then you can't either.
And exactly. And the fact that Onizuka has been the one to wreck his car so many times, and then he sees him here, and he just won a car. Yeah. And my personal headcanon is that Kanzaki had something to do with that. Like, it could just be rule of cool, whatever, antics for the sake of fun story, I
think it's the god of storytelling basically dropping in saying, plot point that it makes a huge splash.
Exactly. Rule of cool, go with it because we're gonna do some fun stuff. Yeah.
Right. And then the plot point will matter in the grand scheme of things, but it's not a Deus Ex Machina solves all the problems.
Right. Although technically, if it is something that is tied, like if the Kanzaki thing doesn't pan out right, and then it ends up being the thing where the dude goes to the bank and all that stuff and whatnot, then it still would be like the car solving the problems. But
if there are enough actions taken by characters after that whole event, it's something that instigated things, and in that case, it could be a Deus Ex Machina that led to the actual
like
solving
an indirect
of
Deus Ex Machina kind of a thing. Yeah,
but I'm fine with those because Deus Ex Machinas are used all the time.
Oh yeah,
they make them work somehow.
And it's still something that ties to character decisions and moments and things like that, so it can be satisfying.
Exactly.
Even if it does circumvent the whole problem of how would you actually come up
the numbers,
$80,000 in a week. Yeah.
Is it only $80,000 again?
Yeah, because 8 million yen, so divide by 100, and that's about.
Oh yeah, because I was gonna say a Mercedes Benz, thought those were really expensive. Oh, $80,000. Okay, that is stupid expensive, but it's not Lamborghini expensive.
Right, and this is also, you know, not current day, so it, you know, it's a little bit less than it, you know, a Mercedes might be now.
Oh, and then that, if anything, that makes $80,000 a lot more valuable.
Right, yeah.
So that's a good point. Because, I would say a Mercedes is definitely a six-figure car. Like, it is, you know,
probably
like above six figures and stuff, and especially if it was brand new and all that. So I'm guessing that kind of lines up with inflation and stuff. Then it'd be around, I don't know,
somewhere around
20,000. You know,
I don't know cars.
I don't know cars either.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know what type of car that was when they showed the
I know,
obvious
right?
symbol. I was like, oh crap!
I was like,
I should know what this symbol is.
Right, I thought that too. I was
is...
like, I should know this, but I don't. And then they're like, a Mercedes Benz. I'm like, okay, yeah, right. Let's just pretend that I knew.
I'm not. Yeah, I had no idea. Don't know cars, man. I'm not one of those typical.
Unless it's a Tesla.
Unless it's a Tesla, that's true. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction discussion. I can't wait for the war that's coming. So,
oh boy!
I mean, I'm worried too. But y'all, if you want to see the next episode's reaction right now, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get on early access there. You can watch full-length reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access. So you can chat with us about stories or just hang out in general and chat about whatever. And if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.